There's no rest for the weary. The Kings don't have much time to think about last night in Phoenix. Tonight, they are in Denver to play the defending champions, the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets, losers, get this, of 2 straight games. So, and that actually kicked off with the Kings at home when the Kings defeated the Nuggets in a really good all-around game for them, a game that we thought was a get-back-on-track game. But, hey, lots to talk about right now. Lots to go over. We've got it all on the other side for you. This is the Kings pregame show on If You Don't Like That.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sacramento miscue. Carter. Stolen by Williams. And look at this. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like NBA basketball. Fox. Goodbye. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. The exclamation point from De'Aaron Fox. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Boy, that's an ESPN highlight right there. Whoa. Carlson comes in. How about this? Holy moly, Jim Bob Boley. That was a major league smush.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of Jim Bob Boley, Jerry will be here at halftime, so make sure you come back for that. It's the Kings and the Nuggets, as we talked about. The Nuggets are going to be without Jamal Murray tonight and Caldwell Pope. Those are 2 big losses for them. Key guys to what they do, as I said at the top, the Nuggets are losers of 2 in a row. Your Kings lost a couple in a row as well, dropped the first 2 of this road trip. This will be the last one heading into the All-Star break. Domantas Sabonis playing absolutely out of his mind. There you go right there. The Kings are underdogs tonight. Not a surprise. Denver, one of the teams that's considered the class of the Western Conference. I would say they are firmly in the group of 4, a group of 4 atop the Western Conference that I don't know the Kings will break into come the end of this season, but it starts tonight in Denver, and I know there's so much that a lot of you probably want to talk about. We had an amazing post-game show yesterday. Took a lot of calls, a lot of first-time callers. Really enjoyed that, by the way. Great calls and great content on the chat. So bring it tonight. Get your chats in there. If you want to call the show, I will open it up to you as well. Look, the Kings, 8th in the Western Conference now. And it's really hard to pick apart what happened last night. We've had some time to let it breathe. We've gotten Mike Brown's comments since the game. We've gotten the 2-minute report since the game. And really, what I'm coming away from right now, or what I bring from all this, is that this Kings team, they gave it their best shot last night. Sabonis, again, best basketball of his life, hands down. And then you get Fox, 40 points, Monk, 22, but it wasn't enough. And I guess what troubles me, and Phoenix is a good team. They've won 4 or 5. The troubling thing now is that put Phoenix on that list of teams that the Kings probably do not want to run into in the playoffs if the Kings make the playoffs. And that list is getting pretty darn long. So we'll see what the Kings do tonight. They've surprised us before. I would not be surprised if they come out just pissed off tonight. I mean, how can you not be inspired by the way that Domas is playing right now? The starters, though, for the Kings, heavy minutes last night. Fox playing 40, Domas 38. So I don't know if Mike Brown's going to go to a little bit quicker rotation tonight, but he will have to try to keep the legs as fresh as possible. But we also know as well, opening up that rotation isn't always a good thing for this Kings team. So anyways, Kings and the Nuggets tonight. Let's get to some of your comments. Appreciate you guys getting in here. How do I feel about tonight? Adam, what is up? I'm going to be sick in 3.5 hours. My expectations are low for tonight. I'm hoping to be surprised by this team. If let's put it this way, if the team that shows up last night in Oklahoma City shows up tonight in Denver, it's going to be a really good game. But this game has the ingredients to get out of hand very quick. So Mike Brown already fairly quick to call a timeout. He's going to have to watch that carefully. So, yeah, I'm not feeling real great at him, but I definitely wouldn't be sick if they lose. 3 guys in our starting lineup can't count on to show up. We have a bench that only one. No, I disagree there. The team has 0 identity. Okay, now you're getting somewhere besides inconsistent. All-Star week can't get here soon enough. Yeah, these guys need to heal up. There's no doubt about that. They absolutely need to heal up mentally and physically. I'm relieved that Sabonis did not, or he was not put on the All-Star team as an injury replacement. The Western Conference didn't have any of those. So get him some rest. Fox, whatever's going on with him, get him some rest. Your guys that are already hurt, Vazenkov, get them some extra therapy. And, you got to keep balance in life. That's one of the things that I live my life by, balance. You got to have balance. So get away from the game a little bit too if you're the Kings. Get your mind off the game. Get yourself right. I think it's a good time for them to roll into it. Inconsistent, that's part of their identity for sure. They have more than one guy off the bench. Come on, Adam. I mean, Trey Lyles has been very good for this team. Obviously, Malik Monk, the one you are referring to, that has been the strong one. Some nights Malik is not consistent, but again, that goes from top to bottom on this roster, unfortunately. Jay, what's up? Yeah. Rhino, is this what you call a date night? Yeah, with the Sacramento Kings. It's my buddy Jay up in Humboldt. Yeah, this is a date night, man. With my buddy Napes and all of you watching here on If You Don't Like That, and hopefully a Kings victory. It'd be nice to see the beam tonight on Valentine's Day. You think he's not married to a Kings fan? Oh, you're talking about my marriage status now. Wow, this show's coming off the tracks. Here we go. Frog, thanks for bringing it back. Ryan, I like the Kings' chance of winning tonight if they can shoot near 50%. Yeah, you bring up a great point, Frog. The Kings have shot the 3 ball very well against the Denver Nuggets this season. Now, we have not seen the Kings shoot the ball very well on the second night of back-to-backs, especially behind the 3-point line. You look at the back-to-back numbers for the Kings on 0 days rest, 0 days rest, which we're looking at tonight. Their field goal percentage, Frogs, 45.8%. Their 3-point percentage, 31.5%. So if the Kings can shoot 50%, they're going to be positioned really well. So very good observation by you. So guys, thoughts? I know a lot of people want to jump to conclusions, jump to, fire Monty, fire Mike Brown, get rid of Harrison. I sensed some of that frustration from Adam in that last comment. But look, there's no reason. This team's doing fine. The rest of the league is much better than this team. Or I should say the rest of the league is much better than they were last year relative to this team and where they're at now running it back. The Kings, they, I'm sure, accounted for that when they decided to run this team back. But, you got to just look at it game by game. And if this team can show up again, I'm going to say it again, this team can show up and focus on basketball like they did last night and actually finish, they're going to be fine. They're going to be absolutely fine. Nobody had expectations of them winning a championship this year. Edward, welcome to the show. Edward says, I don't see them winning this game. That's kind of the consensus. It's going to be tough. Yeah, it absolutely is going to be tough tonight. Again, second night of the back-to-back's hard enough, but you're coming off of Phoenix to Denver. That's a very tough ask, and especially with nothing's going to surprise me tonight with Sabonis, but with Sabonis just rolling right now, rolling. I just don't see that cold stopping. I mean, the Nuggets have had trouble guarding him, and the matchup with him and Jokic, it's always a fun one to watch when they get matched up. So I hope the legs hold up tonight for the Kings. I do. That's going to be the big thing for them. All right. Dix. Okay. All right. We're going to take that down. Thank you for that. Okay, we're not going to come down. Now we're going to come down. Thank you, Dixie. Yeah. All right. We hope they win too. Thank you very much. So, anyways, hey, you guys know about the place that we always talk about. It's Bennett's in the Bennett's in the Blue Oaks Town Center in Rockland. Yes, that is their newest location, the West Side Grill. Grant Jerry, one of Grant's friends who's a Major League Baseball umpire, and myself, we had lunch at Bennett's yesterday, and it was wonderful. We had a great time. Busy as always, but the food was spot on. We had our redfish, like always, creatures of habit. But hey, if you're thinking about doing any to-go orders or you got any big parties that you're catering, check out Bennett's. They do a great job with large takeout orders. And then also their specials. They've got a Monday night dinner special. They also have their happy hour specials. And don't forget about brunch and bubbles, $44 on the weekend. Get you 2 entrees and a bottle of champagne. You can't beat that now that football's over. Guys, you're going to have a little extra time on your hands on Sundays. So go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com for reservations, menus, and more information. And by the way, when you guys go into Bennett's, let them know that you heard about them here on the show. And always, we love hearing your feedback on Bennett's. You guys always seem to have good experiences there as well. All right, Captain Miho, the team has been bad so long that too many people gauge success via the big picture. I agree. Winning a championship, need to appreciate the small wins. Yeah, I mean, it's if you look back and great, I like the balance that you bring to it. But yeah, absolutely. The Kings, what they've done in the last 18 months has been incredible. It really has. So there has been a lot of small victories along the way, but again, you do need to see results though. I mean, you can't, you have to see the process going this way and not this way. And by no means am I saying the Kings process is headed this way, because it's not. But you do need to see improvement on a regular basis, or at least on an annual basis. And I think we've seen that so far. Adam hopping back in about the team's trajectory. He thinks it's terrible. Okay, well, Adam, why is it terrible? I mean, nobody can put their finger on the reason that, you know, there's some unhappiness or some tension or some anxiety in Kingsland amongst the fans and maybe even the media to a degree about this team. So is that part of the trajectory? I mean, other than that, I think they're set up well for the future. Our hope is that we see that post All-Star break form that Fox has put on display moving in that direction, no doubt. So here's the thing. De'Aaron Fox, he only did it a few times last night, but when he did, he was special. He got to the rim. You saw that, to me, it looked like full speed Fox, but at the same time, there were plays where he was limping afterwards. So get that man some rest. If he shows up like he did last night, again, Kings are going to do fine. They're going to do just fine. I mean, the free throws, that's a problem, right? The Kings, they were 18 for 24 last night. I could point to a lot of the analytics last night said the Kings, or at least if you look at a Kings victory normally, a lot of the analytics said the Kings should have won the game last night. So what was the difference? Well, post-game press conference, Mike Brown basically put it on the refs. And I just thought this fan base deserved a little bit more than that. So today, the 2-minute report comes out. They say that there was not a foul in the final 2 minutes. They thought Domantas Sabonis could play through that, what Mike Brown thought was a foul on Booker. But here's the bottom line. You call it a foul? Who says the Kings are going to make the free throws? De'Aaron missed 2 last night in a row. That to me is a bad sign. So those are the things this team needs to work on. And I think, to me, that is more of a mental thing. So, no, you think Mike was spot on. You think the foul differential, you think, so Mike said 27-16, right? The team fouls last night. You think he was spot on? I don't. I thought it was an excuse. So in the NBA, they came out with the 2-minute report. So, and again, Edward, if the Kings go to the line in the situation, are you confident that those free throws are going in the hoop? I'm not. So that's just one of those things. Adam, does complaining about the refs post game benefit us at all? Not really. No. In fact, I think it does the opposite. I've noticed a lot more talking from De'Aaron Fox. And if you look at, when I say talking to the referees, if you look at the way De'Aaron interacts with the referees versus the way that Malik Monk interacts with the referees, and Malik does it well. He does it on behalf of his teammates sometimes, but it's always, and we can't hear what they're saying, but it always appears to be professional. It doesn't appear like there's any tension. It appears like there's a two-way conversation. With De'Aaron, it's not really the same. So I remember Mike standing up for the team, as he should at times last year if he didn't think the team was getting calls. But now we've had a laptop incident, right? He got the $50,000. But part of that was because he aggressively went after an official and he made contact with a player, yada, 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 okay? So we've got that incident. We've got De'Aaron complaining all the time. And if you look at the timeline of this, and go with me, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy guy. I'm going on facts. Like, these are facts. You look at the timeline on this, De'Aaron starts mouthing off war. De'Aaron starts to get technicals. Keon Ellis now starts mouthing off. He gets a technical or two. And then you see other Kings, Kevin Huerter. And now we see Mike Brown again talking about the refs. So I don't have a problem calling out the referees. None whatsoever. What I have a problem with is when I see gaping holes in a box score and I see gaping holes in consistency. Those are the things that should be pointed to first, not the officiating. That's the point that I am trying to make. Yes, Adam backing me up here. He got kicked out, speaking of Mike Brown, not too long ago. Matthew, I hope so too. Better calls for the Kings. Kings and the Nuggets. If you're just tuning in, this is If You Don't Like That. I am Ryan in Sacktown. Jerry Reynolds, Grant Napier, right here at halftime. We are looking forward to that. And hey, I want to thank all of you. Just recently, Grant's channel passed the 7,000 subscriber mark. So thank you so much to all of you that are subscribed. Those that have not scanned that QR code, please subscribe. You can get exclusive rants and all of our content. Let's get to 8K now. We would really appreciate it. Headlines for tonight. Jamal Murray, no-go for the Nuggets, as well as Caldwell Pope. He will be a no-go for the Nuggets as well. So the Kings catching a break heading into Denver tonight. Kings going to have the same roster, same actives as last night. Trey Lyles, he was still listed as questionable. It looked like he was probable in going to be able to go tonight. That was the indication that I've gotten, but I have not seen anything official since the show has started. So you guys can back me up there. Lance, welcome to the party. Kings still don't have a consistent rotation. Amen, Lance. Adelbin would go deep into the bench. Brown only does very short moments. Your thoughts? So on today's Kings Court, that is, by the way, if you haven't already, go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, type in the Kings Court. That is my daily Kings Insider podcast. And here's what's different. It's a short form podcast. Get you in and out in 5 minutes every single day. So go check that out. But I talked about the rotation on there. So I do think the rotation has been an issue on all season for Mike Brown. No. I want to make this clear. Many times, guys on this roster that were part of the rotation, that were yanked from the rotation and then put back in the rotation, when they get that opportunity to come back in, more times than not, they're ready and they play well. Davion Mitchell, most recent example. Alex Len, very good examples. So credit to the guys for staying ready. But yeah, Mike Brown, you don't know. I posed this question too on the postgame to a caller last night. I said, besides Trey Lyles, when he's healthy, name me, besides Trey Lyles and Malik Monk, name me another King off the bench that you guarantee or you strongly feel will get 18 minutes tonight. You can't. You don't know who it's going to be. And so is that a bad thing? No, because you have to play Ryan. You got to play against matchups. That changes things. Sure, Mike Brown's very big on matchups, but the matchups don't usually alter rotations as much as they alter Mike Brown's rotations. In my opinion, teams usually are able to adjust within their rotation, whether it's a defensive adjustment. They don't have to change the rotation. So yes, I think the rotation is a huge issue. I really think it is. So I am with you. Let's see. I love all the comments. Appreciate them. Edward hopping back in. Keegan's blocking. Davion's pulling the chair. That obvious call at the end. Okay. Davion's pulling the chair. It needs to stop. It's great once in a while. Now it's predictable. I mean, we've seen it work one time in the last 3 or 4 games. That's just my opinion. Not every point guard's going to be off balance. Keegan's blocking. He's just a little what's the right word? He's just a little clunky when he takes charges. But his blocking, I don't have a huge issue with that. And you think it's charge, obviously, and then the no call at the end. NBA said it's not a no call. So I understand that you feel differently. I got to go with the NBA. Yeah, I'm cool with the call-outs in game chatter to the refs. Probably not a good idea. Yeah, definitely not. Scuba, what's up? If you mouth off, you should get a technical foul no matter who you are. Young kids are watching and look up to these people. Yeah, it's a good point. A lot has changed about the NBA and, you know, when you sit around the court. Grant talked about it the other night about, you know, if guys were saying certain things, they would, or fans, it would be a toss out. And now, you know, or it's a toss out now. Back in the day, it wasn't. But the Kings, yeah, the NBA as a whole, they got to be better about that. And I think you've seen them try to do things to clean up that image. So, Captain Miho, funny thing about turnovers, the Kings only had 4 in Detroit. And I took the L. I hadn't seen that low of a turnover number since 001, 02, when they had 3 in a game. Good point. Yeah, and yet then they did not take care of the basketball when they played in Oklahoma City, but Oklahoma City excellent at turning teams over. So, all right, Kings, Nuggets tonight. If you are just tuning in, I'm Ryan in Sacktown. This is the pregame show on If You Don't Like That. We'll be back at halftime. Jerry and Grant. Grant will be back tonight, so we're looking forward to that. Jamal Murray, star point guard for the Denver Nuggets, no-go tonight. Also, Caldwell Pope for the Nuggets. He will be out. That is a pretty big loss for them. Trey Lyles, still, I have not seen anything, but I'm also talking to you guys. The indications that I got was it sounded like he was going to be okay to go, but we will see here in a few minutes. Look, Kings got to bring it tonight. They've got to play a clean game. They've got to be able to hit the 3 ball, and they've got to move the ball. Moving the ball will be at a premium, but this Nuggets team, they've lost 2 in a row. One of those losses to this Kings team. Michael Malone will have this team, or have his Nuggets team, ready to play tonight. I can't wait to see the matchup between Jokic and Sabonis. Sabonis playing historic basketball right now. So we're going to get you sent out to the game. We will be back right here at halftime. Join Grant and I. Will open up the phones. It'll be a lot of fun. And then Grant and I will wrap up the night later tonight on the post-game show. So go Kings, light the beam. We will see you right back at halftime. So